Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is another installment of my weekly breakdown. I remember last week I didn't record any video for you guys because it was NFP week and you know how it gets. I mean, we still have CPI this week, but I think we can analyze and get the overall gist of the market. I'm gonna be breaking down the dollar for you guys, and from the dollar we're gonna do gold. Gold and GBP USD, one of the two, right? And also, please just let me know in the comment section which pair you would like me to analyze, and just tell me overall how you feel about my videos, man. What do you think of what I'm laying on the table? You know, how's your trading journey going? How's your chart looking? What are you looking for this weekend? All of that. Let's have a community, man. Let's interact, you know. Just comment down below and then we'll take it from there. And also please do not forget to follow my IG. I'm gonna put it in the description below. Please do not forget to follow the IG because that's where now I'm posting short format content, isn't like your reels where I'm just breaking down the trades. Like it's practically all the videos that I record, but then I just like make short clips, especially when we catch a good entry or when we make a good analysis or good predictions. It's all on IG, and it's also just to keep in touch or stay up to date with what we have going on the channel. So without even wasting more time, I want this video to be short, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. We're looking at the dollar, right? We've had this range for the last couple of months now, right? And it got broken recently. When was it? It got broken the 12th of July. It got broken, and yeah, we were really hoping that price would just come retest the support and go back down, but it did the opposite, the total opposite of what we expected. Just to show you that never think you know what the market is going to do, or never think you know. So with that being said, this is how the DXY is looking, and I'm not gonna lie to you. This could really be a fake out for the people who were waiting for the dead touch on the support. Because as you can see, we had the first touch that was successful, super successful, and then we had the second touch who couldn't even make it all the way. We had the second touch on the support that couldn't even, push price to the resistance, So price didn't even get to the resistance, and it came down to the support. There was definitely buyers because there's people who really trade, the support like that. So there was really buyers here waiting to take the buys. Obviously, they were triggered in. They had their stop losses right below the level. So I feel like on the daily time frame like this, it looks like a clear fake out because the drop has been reversed. And right after the reverse, price came to the support, retested. You can see this retest, right? Just to show that it acknowledges the level. Retested before it pushed to the upside. So at this point, we understand that, okay, all the buyers were taken out and now price is back up again, we don't know if it's also trying to, go complete the range still, or it's on another tip. But yeah, this is how it looks on the 4-hour. I mean, let's just mark up the areas that we think are very important, because on the 4-hour it really is looking like we're having a healthy downtrend, especially from this level right here. A mini downtrend. We don't know. This could be like a impulse correction. but then there's no telling where this correction is about to go. So let's not do that. Let's not try to, direct the market and try and, figure out what it's going to do, because that's not our job. I always say this: we do not predict, we react. So what can we do to this? Because this is how the chart is looking, and you know me, I like to keep it as simple as possible, and like I cannot add anything more to this, because we already know that this trend has been invalidated, right? So it's out of here. It's over with the trend line. If you want to bring it back into the range like this, we know that also this is too wide, but then we do not know. We do not know if it's too wide. Sorry for that. We do not know, but let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's not ignore information in the market. No, let's not do that. So we have 2 touches on the line already. Let's just look it up. No, wait. We have 2 touches on the line. And the second touch is really what gave us the low, for real, if you really want to be honest. The new low. After this touch, price came all the way here. So let's see if we're getting the third touch on the line. And what else? Let's zoom in into the chart, see if we can connect the lows with the trend line as well, because it's right there. We cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore it. The first 2 touches. 1, 2. Hoping for the third one, for the third touch right here. I feel like the third touch is really what's gonna push price to go maybe test the line, if that's what we're on. If the line is really what's holding. The third touch is really what's gonna, take us here. And then if the line is really holding, and then that's when we're gonna get our continuation to the downside, right? So let's just keep our eyes open on the dollar and be very, attentive, because look at that. And there's also an inside trend. There's also an inside trend where we have 2 touches. I feel like that's how we're gonna go about the dollar this week. It's just giving us a lot of trend line sentiments to say it respects trend lines, like first touch, second touch. Is this gonna be the third touch before it drops? And then obviously we're gonna look to our left hand side and see what also is what does this level hold? What significance does this level have? Am I pushing it? Support, right? Then price went up, even failed to go break these highs right here, right? Failed to break these highs, came back, broke, retested before it actually dropped crazy. So now it came, broke, and then came for a young retest, which was a support for a low while, but then the support didn't even push price to go any further, right? Price dropped from that level, and then this could be a retest on the same level. So let's just have it look like this, because it's a zone. It's not a specific price. It's just like, an area that's so sensitive that I believe that price could be retesting right now, before it actually. Let me remove the arrows because it makes it look messy, but we could really be having that touch, even with the young, maybe fake out, right? And then maybe the drop for, that's a lot. Like that's a lot from the dollar. And I doubt it's all gonna happen this week. But then we have CPI. We don't know. CPI might give us one of the moves, because it's too early to tell. This is the 4-hour, and it's still Monday. So maybe by Tuesday. When is CPI? let me see. While I check when CPI is also, like, look at your chart and just tell me, comment down below what you see on your dollar if you already analyzed it. But then I'm seeing you know, that touch on the line, this line. Let me make it solid. That touch on the line. That touch on the line, price drops back to the line again, or the main one, right? For the third touch as well, before it actually goes to the upside. And that touch on the main line, or the main trend line, the uptrend line, also happens to be around the flip zone, right? Also happens to be around the flip zone. So this area it holds a lot of significance. The price we're hoping for in this zone holds a lot of significance. We might have manipulation, even intimidate to break this level, just for it to be a fake out. Just be aware of that before price actually goes up. That might actually be the CPI move right there, just to get us off our game. Just to get us off our game. Let me see. I'm just trying to check where CPI is now. This week. On Thursday. Man, we have enough time. If CPI is on Thursday, I think by that time price would have, I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. But yeah, this is what is expected of the dollar. Just like a young test on the line for the third touch before price actually continues to the upside, and then maybe we can come touch the trend line, the main trend line. There's just too many arrows. I understand. Touch the trend line before it actually drops. Right? That's all I have for you on the dollar today. I know already this video is so long, so I'm just gonna analyze gold instead of GBP USD, just to make this video short. Start on the daily, see what gold is talking about. Overall, gold is still in the range. Still is. Even though there was a young manipulation right here, which we already went over. If you're not aware of all this, it clearly means that you're not tapped in. But yes, first touch, second touch, third touch, even though it barely, touched the level. Second touch, and then third touch. Third touch right here. This is what we have. And if you look closely, you will see that price was really on a good uptrend, going up from this low right here. We had our higher high, higher low, higher high. This was supposed to be a higher low, but then this high was not broken. So the sentiment of the bulls is really like just at this point undermined, because price is not really doing what it's supposed to do according to the market structure that we already had with this wave. So let's just go down to the 4-hour. So what the 4-hour looks like. I'm afraid we're gonna have to use trend lines as well for this one. But then this line has been disrespected. It has been disrespected. but then we're still gonna have it just to see the sentiment, you know, to say, okay, the uptrend is no longer holding. The uptrend is no longer holding, or this pattern is no longer holding because it was a whole pattern, right? It's no longer holding because it broke out. And what are we left with? What other moves did price make after that? We have, let's just get significant levels where price really interacted, you know, or where the market really interacted with the specific price. First, we have this line, which happens to be a resistance, and then it was support, a flip zone, a clean flip zone, and then price also came back again for a young, you know, it was also a retest before price actually pushed to the upside, right? So this area is really significant. This area right here is really significant. But then there's also like a range that formed right here, which was broken, right? It was broken to the downside just to come test this area or point of interest, just, you know, a young touch, and then price started going to the upside, right? So now we also cannot ignore the fact that the downtrend was also respecting this line right here, because look at what it did after the second touch. Look at what it did after the second touch. Let's zoom in. Second touch really is what led to the drop, you know. That's what led to the drop that got to the support. Okay, so we had first touch, second touch on the line, third touch, but then the third touch was not sustainable because right after that, especially because we had this pattern, right after that, price broke, retested this structure, but didn't now drop the way the sellers would have expected, right? Price instead started making higher highs, started making not higher highs, but higher lows. Because look at this. Let me remove this so that you can see. Look at this. The lows kept getting higher and higher. 2, 3. See, the lows kept getting higher and higher. So that's to show that, okay, the buyers might be more powerful than the sellers in this area, right? The sellers might be the buyers might be a little bit too strong for the sellers here, and price really went up after that, right? Because there was some sort of a ceiling, but then it was broken. There was some sort of a resistance here, but then it was broken and retested, and then price started going up. So now price is coming back to this flip zone again. You know, the flip zone that also happens to be where price landed when it faked out of this range. This is where price landed when it faked out of this range. So there has to be some level of significance to it. It's a pretty solid zone, but it doesn't end there. All right, doesn't end there. There's also a roof or a ceiling to this side now, which is this one. We cannot ignore it. If anything, price is ranging between these two areas right here. Right, but then obviously there's patterns that we can establish inside of the range that might give us, you know, a clue of what the market is trying to do. And I also feel like we could really just clearly see it at this point. Right, we could clearly see it at this point that we have a young pattern continuation, the bullish continuation pattern. We have a bullish continuation pattern. And it seems like it's holding. Like I lost hope on this pattern long ago. I think by the beginning of this year, I knew that it barely holds, but then because gold is special, this pattern might hold with gold, right? Because that's what happened on NFP. Price really respected this level. You can see the young rejection here, and then price really went up after that because of it respected this young zone here, and then also it's also respecting this pattern, the bullish pattern, right? So I think just be patient, wait for your entry. Let me see. Let me remove this. Obviously, this downtrend has been invalidated. Well, it was validated because there was a young consolidation and then it dropped for the sake of the people who were trading this. But then now there was no more sellers after that because the pattern that they traded has been, I mean, it's over with, you know. So now we cannot ignore what's forming in front of our eyes just because the main channel got broken, you know. So we're just gonna have to look at price action and see who's in control. But I know there's gonna be a whole lot of manipulation around this area. Just stay tuned. There's gonna be a whole lot of manipulation around this area. Just be patient. If you happen to enter, if you happen to take a trade, just make sure that your timing is perfect and your risk management is also proper. Because I really am I'm really am seeing you know, I really am seeing a bullish run coming from this pattern right here. But then remember how our dollar is looking, right? Remember how our dollar is looking. Our dollar is looking to drop a bit. You know, let me show you how the dollar is looking, just so we can make sense of the pattern we have on gold. I didn't want this video to be long, but at this point, you see, if the dollar is going to be dropping to this area just to make the third touch, and then that means also gold that side, gold that side should be gold that side should also be respecting this pattern. But then ain't no telling where it's going to go, because overall we're expecting the dollar to drop, you know, after the touch on the bigger trend line, the bigger downtrend. You remember that touch that we're anticipating. So once gold reaches that level, I think price is also going to be making moves on gold in terms of respecting this pattern. But then because these markets are so deceitful, the people might be comfortable to say they caught the buy, but then really, I don't know where I was going with that, but you just make sense of the analysis. Also, just also look at your analysis and your trading rules before you enter, because this move to the upside before the drop is crazy. What would that mean for the dollar? Just needs you guys to be careful. I'm not gonna lie, because it could be on some. You understand? The buy we're expecting could be looking like, obviously for the traders who are trading the pattern, could really be looking like price is about to respect the pattern. Whole time price is just retesting this, you know, forming a young channel before it actually drops. And then by the time you're about to catch the sell, you actually go up. Because what? Because the dollar would be dropping. So it's just like, ain't no telling what's gonna happen, but then just be prepared for anything. You know, do not ignore certain information just for you to, you know, stick to your bias, because you don't want to be biased in the market. So yeah, before I just go around in circles, thank you for tuning in. I know I was just talking shit towards the end, but hopefully some of the things I was saying on the video made sense to you and actually helps you conquer the week. And yeah, hopefully we're going to look at this analysis and say, okay, yeah, we also expected that, and we actually capitalized off of it, because being a good analyst and being a good trader is two totally different things. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment on the video. Let's grow the community. Let's just let's go crazy as a community. And yeah, I hope everybody gets to have a profitable week. Thank you.